Hey lovies, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing great. So guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how to make that perfect Nigerian fish roll, how to make that perfect dough to get your perfect and delicious Nigerian fish roll. Okay, I'm going to be taking you along with all the measurements that you're going to need to achieve the perfect dough for your fish roll. And if it's your first time here, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Lydia Isaac. I hope you do feel free to hit that red button and subscribe if you enjoy this recipe. So I'm going to take you guys along and make sure I put you through step by step on how to achieve that perfect fish roll. Okay, thank you very much, and let's get into this recipe. So guys, I'm going to show you two ways to get your filling. In here you can see I have my washed mackerel fish and I'm just seasoning it with some fish seasoning, salt, thyme and some onion. Optionally, you can use any seasoning of your choice to spice up your mackerel fish. And I'm going to add a little bit of water and allow it to cook until it's well cooked. So I'm going to show you the second option. The second option is you can get already canned mackerel fish, then you take it off from the oil and just use your spoon or your fork to properly mash the fish to get it very smoothly. So at this moment, when your mackerel fish is well cooked, all you're going to do is to make sure you allow it to cool down for some minutes, and then you begin to carefully debone the fish to make sure you take off all the bones from the fish. You can see how I'm doing it carefully. Then when you're done with this step, you get your fork or you can use your hand. It all depends on how you like it. So I'm just going to use my fork to carefully mash the fish until it's properly smooth. So I'm just going to keep on using my fork to mash the fish. So you can see the consistency of the fish. With this I'm okay, so I'm going to set it aside and get my pan that I'm going to be using to stir fry my onion. So I'm using the same oil from the sardine, and I'm just going to add in the onion and stir fry it for a minute or two. So I'm adding in some Scotch bonnet pepper, as I love my food to be a little bit spicy. That's optional. If you don't like it, you can take that off. So I'm adding 2 Scotch bonnet pepper, and I'm going to put just a little bit of all-purpose seasoning, and I'm going to give it a nice stir. So right now I'm just adding in some spring onion, as this will give this filling a very nice taste. And I'm going to add in all the fish that I already mashed with my fork, and I'm going to stir fry it for just 2 minutes and set it aside to cook. So right now I'm going to get a bowl to start to put my dry ingredients. I'm using 2.5 cups of flour, and you can check on the description box to access all the list of these ingredients and the measurements. So I'm adding 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and I'm adding 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar and a little bit of salt. So I'm just going to use my spoon to stir it together. And I'm going to be using 4 tablespoons of butter. or margarine, anyone you have, and I'm going to use my hand to give it a mash. I'll just crush it with my hand for some minutes. So at this moment I'm going to be adding 1 egg, and I'm just going to give it a very nice stir with, you can use your hand or anything you have to mix it. So I'm using half a cup of water. At this moment you don't need to put all your water at a time, you just need to put your water bit by bit, because you don't need a very wet dough. You need your dough to be a little bit strong. So the more you're mixing, if you need a little bit of more water you can add, but make sure your dough is not very soft. And if it gets to a point maybe your dough is over soft, you can definitely add a little bit of all-purpose flour to make it a little bit strong. So you can see the outcome of my dough. You can see how thick it is. So I'm just going to use my hand to give it a very nice mash for some minutes, for about 2 to 4 minutes. And I'm going to wrap it with my cling film and leave it to sit for about 10 minutes. So I'm going to wet my surface with some all-purpose flour and place my dough on it. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of massage for about just a minute, and I'm going to divide my dough into different little portions. So I will start by rolling my dough. And this is how you want it to look like. You don't want it to be very thick and you don't want it to be very flat. So you can see how it is. So I'm going to add in 1 spoon of the filling, and I'm going to give it a roll. You can see how I'm rolling it and making sure it is tight. The shape of your dough don't need to be perfect. All you just need is to make sure you seal it after adding your filling, and make sure you wrap it properly. And if you want a smaller size, you can definitely cut this into 2 or 3. Depends on the size you want. You can cut this into 2 if you want a smaller size. So I'm just giving it a nice roll and making sure I seal both ends. So these are some of my fish straw that I already rolled, and I'm going to get a pan and put in my oil. So you need to check the temperature of your oil. You can see I just dip a little of my dough inside the hot oil to see if it's hot, and you can see it's properly hot. So I just put my fire on a low heat and I'm adding in my fish straw. At this moment, guys, you need your fire to be on a low heat because you don't want your dough to be burnt while inside of your fish straw is not well cooked. And also you don't want to overcrowd your pan, so it will have enough space to spread while it's cooking. So guys, I'm going to leave you to see the end result of this fish roll, and I hope you do enjoy this recipe. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit that red button, subscribe, like this video, drop a comment for me, and thank you for watching. Till I see you on my next recipe. Have a lovely day. Bye.